Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Mondo. No, this one's called The Forbidden. This is going to be another Lee Frost flick. This is going to be Lee Frost Mondo Sexo, to be more precise. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I'm not a big fan of uh, Mondo flicks in general, and this one is quite boring. Although I am a big fan of Lee Frost, his Mondo stuff is kind of lame. Basically, he goes from strip club to strip club around the world, supposedly. The beginning little vignette is the reason to watch. I think if the entire movie had been like the beginning, it would have been a much better movie. Lee Frost basically tells us that the karate school commercial is to blame for the low production value and nudity in the beginning. There's nudity throughout this one, but in particular, Lee Frost pretends that some karate school made a commercial of these 2 women getting raped in a dream to promote self-defense class against sex offenders in Los Angeles. Some hot-looking Japanese babe runs the runs the aforementioned karate school, and that's pretty hilarious, the way the rapist is going after these women. And I don't mean to make light of rape, but when Lee Frost says low production value, he means it. There's virtually no acting skills in this movie. Even the narration is rather inane and laughable at times. But I thought it was ho-hum boring. I mean, a bunch of naked white women with pasties on their crotch. Not very appealing to me, but I have different taste, I guess. The Japanese lady had been part of the sex acts on stage. I think it would have been more enjoyable. Like I said, even the without her stripping, just doing her karate moves on guys was laughable and very entertaining. So it had the element of the Lee Frost cheese factor in the beginning, but then it sort of tapered off into boredom, typical Mondo fare, and not very enticing. It's not all strip acts, mind you. There's some jealousy kind of things interspersed, where a lady is crying when she sees her husband cheating on her in her husband's car with some younger lady. So she decides to get in a head-on collision with both of them. That was pretty low-budget special effects on that one. Looked like something from Godard movie or something. And then some supposedly French lady kills off her dream boys, best friends, including her husband. so that he'll come back from Mexico to visit her. And then she confesses to the crime so that she can see him at trial. So there's that. Um, there's some ridiculous Nazi strip thing in East Germany supposedly. It's probably in Lee Frost's backyard. It's in some cabin or something. Um, there's supposedly mobile strip club in Los Angeles that is raking in the cash like 200 grand a year or something, which is big money back in 1966 when this movie is made. Um, I can't remember if it's a mixture of black and white and color, but the white women look pretty much all the same. Looks like they're wearing wigs and stuff. There's a lesbian club in Switzerland supposedly. Some guy is sitting in the background. I don't even know why he's there. He's just like smoking and drinking beer or something, and the rest of the club is just mostly butch lesbians. They're watching a couple of femme lesbians having an orgy on the bed. I don't know what a bed is doing there, but pretty lame stuff, like softcore kind of stuff. Not very appealing to me. Like I said about Echo, I would have much preferred to see lesbian club in, say, Hong Kong. As I mentioned, it was in my previous movie review, it was in another Mondo movie that I can't recall the name of. Might have been the Boris Karloff Mondo narration that had the Japanese women wrestling with their hairy armpits exposed. It could have been that one. I don't recall. It could have been Mondo Kani, which is the original Mondo movie that spawned all the others, copycats, including these two, and the Boris Karloff aforementioned Mondo movie. So I got through the double feature. I just wanted to see the Lee Frost second feature, The Forbidden, this one, because like I said, I am a big Lee Frost fan, but I was disappointed with this one. Didn't particularly care for too much. So overall, I give the disc, I want to say, let's see, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Not a great disc, but pretty good for Mondo fare. I have to admit, it's one of the better ones. Like Echo, The Forbidden has its moments in the beginning, in particular, but it sort of tapers off into boredom. Like I said, Echo has a couple really intense, disgusting scenes towards the end, more towards the end, so a little bit different structure in terms of quality, but similar quality overall. Unfortunately, The Forbidden is a little worse than Echo. I was hoping it would be better, but yeah. Lee Frost's direction was giving me a false sense of security in the beginning, so it was unfortunate, but I want to see all the Lee Frost movies. I know that's impossible, but especially on Netflix where the selection is quite limited, but yeah, similar to my little Herschel Gordon Lewis kind of guest appearance. Uh, in the other two movies that I watched, I want to see the Lee Frost Mondo, even if it isn't his best work. It was something that I had to see, even though I didn't like it. Um, I got to check it out and see if it's half as good as any of his other movies, and unfortunately, it isn't. So that's very unfortunate. It's starting to rain here in San Francisco. Um, and I did sleep through most of the day while my son was watching 3 kung fu movies that I mentioned yesterday. Heroes of the East, Born to Defense, and Flashpoint. He got through all 3 of them. I give him credit. There aren't too many other movies that I can have him watch other than Jackie Chan stuff. Maybe Modern Warriors. The Martial Art Way, which is unavailable in Australia, according to somebody who commented on my movie review on that particular movie, or is it a television show review? I don't remember, but yeah, I'll definitely order that for my son, thanks to the Australian dude who pointed it out. It wasn't Adrian, but it was somebody else. I guess I have a lot of Australian viewers for some reason who are into Mondo and Kung Fu stuff. Well, I have 2, which is a lot for my channel. Anyways, not too many cars tonight compared to last night. I did sleep most of the day, and I drank the red line before I started my graveyard shift again. So it's kind of early. It's like 1 in the morning. Probably doze off in a couple hours after I'm done with the bonus features on this disc. There's another film on here. Looks like a short film. We'll see if I'll review it before the night is through, but I don't know. Maybe I won't be able to figure out the when it was made, or I don't know. We'll see. It might actually be better than these other 2 movies, the main features. So I might rate this disc higher if I can find the date when it was made, so I can post it on YouTube with the year that it was made on there. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And not much going on the way of dating. I met a 40-year-old Chinese on Happen. She wanted to meet me yesterday, but I was too tired. I just wanted to sleep in after doing my graveyard shift. Yesterday I wanted to sleep in the rest of the day, which I pretty much did. I mean, I probably got like 8 hours of sleep total, I'm guessing. Yeah, so not bad, but I'm definitely gonna be tired later today because I gotta work my 4 jobs today, so not looking forward to that. Sleep deprivation. It's probably gonna take a toll on me, and end up getting dementia like my mother and my uncle, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But I think if I make enough money, I can start taking resveratrol, which is supposed to be like an anti-aging miracle thing, supposedly. And yeah, I'm not eating corn syrup as much, so that might help prevent dementia later on. But I do have long-term care insurance, unlike my mother and my uncle. So if that ever happens to me, hopefully my son will be smart enough to, or whoever's on my will, be put me in a nursing home or dementia facility right away. And I'll be living like in a Club Med type facility for like 2 years before they put me on in a boarding house or something. So yeah. Anyways, I digress. I'm talking too much about my personal stuff again. So yeah, I can't say check it out or highly recommend it. I'm not gonna post the trailer in the description. I don't even think there's a trailer. There's just something about Los Angeles, a bunch of kids rioting because they stayed past the curfew or something. I don't know. Didn't really make that much sense at all. The narrator talks about racial injustice in the Vietnam War. So, I guess the most of the Los Angeles police department came out that night and stopped the rioting and the looting. Apparently cost over $1 million for the police and the property damage, according to the narrator. It seems like Lee Frost just took a bunch of stock footage, pretended like he was doing a Mondo flick. But the beginning didn't look like stock footage. It looked like cheap Lee Frost type production value cheese factor that he tried to pretend was the karate school's fault. This fictional karate school looked like it was taking place in Lee Frost's basement again. So that was about the only cool part. I couldn't really get into the rest of the movie, but nevertheless, I had to check it out and review it. So that's the end of my review. Laters.